It's a clear Saturday morning and David Cook is preparing to take to the skies in his vintage de Havilland Chipmunk aircraft.
The aeroplane is 1950 vintage, so it's 73 years old. Not as old as me though.
At 81, David has been both a pilot and a doctor for more than 50 years, including time with the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Each weekend he leads an aerial display over the Port Macquarie region as part of a small group of experienced pilots. They call themselves the Bobcats, and their formations require intense concentration.
When you are following a leading aeroplane, you're not looking at your instruments or the ground or anything, you're just looking at more or less the back of his head, and you're positioning yourself. It's a sort of real workout for us all.
He says flying is a passion that's been passed through generations.
My grandfather flew in 1915 in the First World War, and then my father was a Spitfire pilot.
With medical services scarce in some parts of the region, Dr Cook's work plane is a handy means of transport to the nearby town of Southwest Rocks.
All the small country towns are very short of doctors. Port Macquarie's the same. So I just come up here 2 mornings a week to add to the medical manpower of the town.
He then hops on his motor scooter and heads back to the modified cow paddock he uses as a runway to return to Port Macquarie.
It's only 11 minutes to get to Southwest Rocks by air, so I'm up there in no time. The owner chases the cows off the airstrip before I come. We'll make sure they're not on the strip, and I land there and I have a little motor scooter which I putt into town on. People ask me if I'm going to retire at 81, and I say, oh, look, I actually love work. I was a flying doctor for years in the outback, and so old habits die hard. When I was flying doctor, my boss used to say, you're not a doctor that flies, you're a pilot that practices medicine. So it's just being up there and in a medium in which you can move in all directions.
A consuming passion that just happens to fit neatly with his day job.
I come from a long line of pilots. I'm the black sheep being the doctor, actually, because both my sons are jet captains, my father and my grandfather are pilots, so it's a bit of a disease with the family.